I want to share with you guys a story about a man named Daniel, and he had it all. He had a wife, two kids, a thriving business, was a guy that everybody admired. Honestly, a guy that seemed to have it all together. But behind the scenes, he was blind to the cracks in his marriage. See, Daniel loved his wife, but he didn't show it in ways that mattered. She would ask him for his time, and he'd just say, I'm doing this for us. And she'd tell him that she felt alone, and he would just respond with, I'm under a lot of pressure. And he assumed that she understood. And she always did, until one day she didn't. And he got a call that shattered his entire world. His wife had been in a car accident and she didn't make it. And he told me that he remembered standing in the hospital hallway, staring at the floor, and that he couldn't breathe. And that weight of regret hit him like a freight train. And he thought about all the times that she had tried to tell him all that she needed, and the moments that he chose work, distractions, or his own ego over truly being there for her. And at the funeral, he looked at her face one last time and he said, I was sorry, but that she couldn't hear him. And in the moments that came after that, he wrestled with the grief and the guilt, replaying every conversation, every argument, every time he shrugged off her feelings. Being in an empty house, not just because she was gone, but because he'd realized that he'd been emotionally absent long before that. And here's what he learned in the hardest way imaginable: that time isn't guaranteed. So he kept thinking he'd have the time to make things right, to just listen more, to show up differently for her. But time ran out. See, presence matters more than provision. She didn't care about the big fancy house or the vacation. She wanted him, his attention, his affection, his partnership. Love is action. It's not enough to feel love. You have to show it daily in ways that matter to the person that you're with. And he made a vow that day that he would live the rest of his life differently. He couldn't change the past, but he could make sure that his future relationships were built on love, presence, and intention. So let me ask you this. If you lost her tomorrow, would you be at peace with how you've loved her today? And are you giving her the best version of you? Or are you giving her what's left over after everything else? Don't wait for tragedy to wake you up, brother. Don't let the regret be the only thing that you have left. Time is precious, and so is she. Show up now while you still can.